Hey there, good morning on this Tuesday, January 21st. This is Breakfast with Bridgett on News 6 Plus, clickorlando.com and YouTube. And we're glad to be with you. I'm Bridgett Ellison. We are gearing up for some major winter weather. I'm not sure if you've been watching the forecast, but it is already sweeping the country and parts of Florida also declaring that this is a state of emergency in terms of their weather systems headed that way. And so we want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos and find out the latest and what we can expect here. It'll be cold and wet for sure. And Candace, it's something that everyone's talking about right now because the word snow and Florida mentioned in the same sentence always gets everybody's attention.
Oh, yeah, it certainly does. I mean, listen, it catches my kids' attention. They just called me like, Mom, is the roads going to be icy? I'm like, okay, no, it's not going to be icy. They're still going to be kind of slick because we are dealing with some rain. And it's certainly going to be that dreary kind of day where it's rainy, it's cloudy, it's windy, it's cold. That whole mix today is not going to be ideal, which is why today we're designating it an inconvenient weather day as the chance for rain continues. No big storm chances, so that's certainly good news. And at the end of the day, let the meteorologist tell you, we need the rain. So if it falls on a Tuesday in the middle of the work week, so be it. But unfortunately, that rain is going to be mixed in with a lot of snow across the panhandle. The precipitation's all the same. It all originates the same way, but how it falls and the temperatures it falls through really will dictate where it snows, where it will sleet, where it
And
will
people are
freeze.
worried. I mean, it's a state of emergency for some counties.
I mean, and people can call us, wimps, but this is, you bring a hurricane to us, we know what to do. You dust a little bit of snow over us, and we're like, blah.
Yeah, you got to be ready for
You know,
anything.
like I tell my children, we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. Winter weather in Florida is a weakness. So, and you know what? Before we get to the maps, I do want to let you know, though, Marion and Flagler County, they're part of our viewing area. They're part of Central Florida. And they're the ones that today, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, will have the chance of seeing a wintry mix. We're not talking snow in Marion. We're not talking snowfall and accumulating. But there will be the potential of having some kind of frozen precipitation
Some
falling in the
slush.
sky on tonight. I wouldn't even call it slush. It's almost like, how hail is like circular. Rain is more like those long sprinkles like you put on a donut or a cookie. That's kind of more freezing rain. So we'll get a couple little pellets here and there.
Some loud
But
rain. It's loud when it's freezing. Ugh.
yes, and it's really going to be the big story, of
Yeah,
course, is
right.
and the rain. So let's take it to the maps and show you what's going on right now. Flagler County, right now, not dealing with any rain, but down through Volusia, Orange, also it's just kind of scattered in nature. And we're going to continue to see those scattered showers continue throughout the afternoon. And for that reason, today is designated an inconvenient weather day. Not a weather alert day. This is not a strong, dangerous system. Locally, different story in the panhandle, right? But it's going to be cold, dreary, windy. We have wind advisories along the coast, a high surf advisory for coastal communities. We do have a cold weather advisory that right now is issued from Marion and Flagler for tonight. Could get extended because we are going to be dropping temperatures again tonight. So with that being said, historic winter storm possible for parts of North Florida, and that potential for some sleet is in the forecast for Flagler and Marion. Not widespread, but we're saying there's a chance. Satellite and radar composite. Look at how much snow right now, Bridgett, is falling in parts of Louisiana and Texas right now. They have racked up some significant totals already at this hour. Rain, you can see right there by Houston, it's white, pink, and green, right? So they're kind of seeing all that precipitation all kind of in that same zone. And that's going to be kind of that sliver of that mix of snow, sleet, and rain that North Florida will be dealing with later on today. Locally here, though, that rain is starting to surge in from the south, and that will stay in place throughout the day. And then when that rain is kind of worked over, then we're going to see that big sweep of the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So let's show you here clouds and rain forecast. You can see scattered showers off and on throughout the day. Cloudy skies. Now, is it going to be raining nonstop all day? No, but it's going to be very tropical in nature where it feels like it's going to rain all day, and sometimes it does, and then sometimes it doesn't. Some of those pockets will be misty, light scattered showers, and then there'll be those little bubbles of yellows and reds producing some heavy amounts of rain. So throughout 9 o'clock, again, a lot of green on the radar. We're going to be stuck under all that cloud cover. Then as we head into the overnight hours, by midnight, you can see scattered showers. But notice, look, that little tiny pink. You see it over St. Augustine and as far south as Ocala. That is what we're calling about freezing rain or sleet. Kind of that wintry, slushy mix that you really don't know what it is, but it doesn't look like normal rain. And then that will kind of get worked over. It'll warm up. That will kind of melt into just plain old rain in the forecast. And then we'll finally start clearing things out by Wednesday afternoon. So here's basically the timeline. For the majority of those watching here in Central Florida, it's just going to be a dreary, cold, rainy day. There will be some exceptions, Marion and Flagler, that could see some sleet really looking at midnight to about 4 a.m. That's going to be kind of that zone for the sleet before we start drying things out on Wednesday. So to take your hour by hour, a decent shot for rain, up to about a 90% chance. But notice those temperatures are not going to be warming up much, staying in the 50s. How crazy is this, Bridgett? We are talking about a storm warning as far south as Alachua County, including Jacksonville tonight and into early tomorrow morning. But a little further south, because we're going to be in that weird zone between is it rain, is it sleet, we do have a winter weather advisory, meaning that we could have some icy weather accumulating like less than 1/10 of an inch. We're not saying much, but Marion County is highlighted in that, especially as we head into up to Lake George as well. So the precip types will differ significantly. We're talking 4 to 8 inches of snowfall total along the Panhandle. There from the Big Bend through Jacksonville, south into Ocala will be more of that sleet mixed in with the rain. And then everywhere else further south will be just good old-fashioned Florida rain, which again, certainly needed. So again, weather is an inconvenient day today. We're going to dry things out. That 60% really is going to be before sunrise on Wednesday. We're going to dry things out. And then look, is that summer? I think I see summer coming Sunday. Temperatures are going to be back into those low 70s by the end of the week, early next week. Wild weather. It is certainly going to be something to watch closely. Schools are canceled for Wednesday. Snow plows are being ordered. State of emergency. Again, not for us, but our hearts and our warm rain, we will send it up to the Panhandle because they are going to need it.
Yeah. I can't help but hope that things shift a little bit more in our favor to have less of that ice, because it's just so dangerous and like you said, we're not used to it, and like I talked to Trooper Steve about the roads and everything. So hopefully people who don't need to be out traveling around this little time frame won't do that, because it's not going to be fun to drive in.
The kids are always so used to hurricane days where you're kind of stuck inside all day because it's hurricane outside, but this one is kind of one of those nice ones where it's like, if you just stay inside, just hang out. So
yes, maybe park the car under something covered.
Yeah, you could do that too.
All right, thank you, Candace.
All right,
bye. And we were talking about that traffic, and Trooper Steve is over there, getting us ready to hit the road this morning. But now this is starting to get real, Steve, with you've gotten some more updates on what's being prepped for farther north. Oh, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There we go. It is crazy because as a Florida trooper, I can tell you right now, I don't know any trooper who has ever had to put
train for that.
contributing factors from a crash as snow, ice, or sleet on the crash report. So that's probably be the biggest thing people need to pay attention to. Like, look, if you're traveling out of the area, you happen to be going to the Panhandle, you will encounter something that we do not encounter here in the state of Florida. And that's just okay. It's just something we need to be cautious about. Mm-hmm. So it's very similar to hydroplaning. Out on the roadway whenever you start to lose that traction or whatnot. So we can go straight to the graphic maps here because we have a little bit of a nice explainer.
Oh, thank you.
So anytime you're hydroplaning or whatnot, what's happening is you're losing contact with the actual roadway surface. So dry roads, obviously, you have full traction, but when you begin to hydroplane, it's because something is interfering with your vehicle's tires and making contact with the road. So at slower speeds, road contact will always pretty much remain the same. Why? Because of the weight of the vehicle you're pushing down. The more you begin to speed up, the less contact with the road, and then fast speeds in not perfect conditions result in the loss of contact, aka the word hydroplane. I'm using the term hydroplane. It is a water kind of scenario, but it is around the same situation when it comes to regaining traction out on the roadway. So here, this is a good explainer here. So dry roads, tires make contact with the road at all times. When the wet roads, we lost contact. You kind of begin to slide everywhere and things like that. So this is coming back full screen. What I would say is most drivers begin to panic rather quickly when stuff like this happens. What happened, Candace has been mentioning it, we've been talking about it, is when your vehicle begins to swerve a certain direction, our normal reaction is to overcorrect the opposite way. That is not what you should be doing. You should be steering into the direction that your vehicle is going. As crazy as that
I'm
sounds.
just having a bad flashback as you're talking about this.
So you've encountered some black ice and some slick roads before.
Well, when I was in school, in North Carolina, and we had this historic winter storm move in, and for like the first time in 50 years, they closed the campus of UNC Chapel Hill, and I am driving across campus to go try to stay at a friend's apartment because I didn't want to be stuck on campus. Campus just shut down.
Right.
And it was just flurries, Steve, just flurries. But it had been cold for so long that when the flurries hit the road, and then I'm on these hills in Chapel Hill in a little 89 Buick, and that car started to slide sideways down that roadway. And I did. I went with it. I went with it. I steered into the slide, and then once it stopped, I was able to like correct myself and get on out of there. But thankfully, nothing else was oncoming because, you know, that's how you get into major trouble or you get stuck in a ditch somewhere.
And to your point, like steering is not going to fix the problem. It's going to minimize the problem because when you steer into it, you're maintaining some type of stability with the vehicle. Once you counteract that, now what's going to happen? You're going to start spinning. So good for you, but we don't want that. We could see that in the Panhandle, and locally we're doing okay. Roadways, not bad. What are we going to see today? We're going to see wet roadways. So people need to be very careful. We've had some fun trying to say that this morning, wet roadways into Wednesday along Redbug Lake Road. But right now, DOT cam showing that we're still looking pretty good outside downtown Orlando. There's that haze that Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos was letting us know about. That rain is here. So just please be careful. No major issues on the road, but look at your drive time. 43 minutes Champions Gate to downtown Orlando. And the delay is so thick this morning. I don't know. It's maybe just mixing between the cold and that wet roadways. People are just not having it this morning. So please pay attention. Increase the following distance so we don't have any crashes out there. 535 Point Santa Boulevard a little slow as well. And that traffic light is still not working properly this morning at Boggy Creek and 417, causing some northbound delays. And then out by the airport, we are clear. However, roadways are wet. People are on. Look at that. Look at the difference between Tradeport and Goldenrod. So we're talking 2-mile difference here. And you have rain on the west side of the airport, but on the east side, not as heavy. So that's just showing Candace's pattern this morning. The stuff's going to be in and out, and we just need to be ready for it today.
All right. Thank you, Trooper Steve. We appreciate it. Anything else?
You're welcome. You'll catch me at 10. We do have a stream today. We're going to talk about some myths on traffic stops when it comes to certain tickets, what you have the right to do, what you don't have the right to do. And we'll talk about that today at clickorlando.com, YouTube, News 6 Plus, and the News 6 app, and anywhere else you want to see me.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in about 2 hours.
See ya.
All righty. Want to get to some of the top headlines this morning. Of course, yesterday, Inauguration Day, and it was a full day of ceremonies, galas, parades, and President Trump will spend his first full day back in office today. Already, though, his return to power has been historic, with the president signing dozens of executive orders yesterday, including a promised crackdown on illegal immigration and a vow that millions will be deported. News 6's Mark Lehman is following the potential impacts for Central Florida and explaining why some are not happy with the president's orders.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. Hours after taking the oath of office, President Trump began rolling out sweeping changes on illegal immigration. Through executive orders, the president declared a state of emergency at the southern border.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted.
Among the changes are forcing asylum seekers to remain in Mexico, finishing the border wall, and a crackdown on illegal border crossings.
It's too sad that the president is coming with those intentions.
William Diaz is the founder of Casa de Venezuela, an organization fighting for immigrant rights. He fears the orders will hurt migrants looking for a better life.
And when you go to see the figures, you'll find out that the percentage of illegal immigrants or immigrants in general is very, very, very low.
President Trump also wants to change birthright citizenship requirements, which is a right protected under the 14th Amendment. Meanwhile, major cities are also bracing for raids as the president has promised to deport millions of illegal immigrants.
Can we expect ICE raids in major cities?
I don't want to say when, but it's going to happen. Has to happen, or we're not going to have a country left.
A crackdown on illegal immigration, not the only controversial move the president made after taking office. He also pardoned nearly all the people charged in the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol building. President Trump pardoned all but 14 of the nearly 1,500 of his supporters who were charged in the riot. He also commuted the prison sentences of leaders of the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys who had been convicted of the most serious charge of seditious conspiracy. Now, we caught up with some of the locals who had traveled from Central Florida to be a part of the festivities, and many who watched the events in Washington yesterday were from Florida. They made up the trip to witness that history, but of course, weather threw a curveball in lots of people's plans, and so they had to pivot and find other ways to try to enjoy the day. And News 6 anchor Matt Austin caught up with some of them yesterday.
Central Floridians watched the inauguration all over D.C.
All right, ladies, you made it in.
Some, like these four women from Windermere, braved mile-long lines during a freezing morning to watch from the Capital One Arena.
What did it take to get into this arena today?
4 a.m.
Across town, in a packed lobby bar, Floridians from Volusia County cheered and even cried as President Trump took the oath of office.
I mean, it's like redemption, and I can't even put it into words right now. We're just ecstatic.
All these people expected to be on the National Mall watching the ceremony. Many found this smaller, warmer setting just right.
The leaders in Volusia County in Florida, they came up with a plan for us to get together as a community to celebrate this historic moment. So we're thrilled to be here. Plus, it's warmer in here than it is at the mall, isn't it?
Significantly, I can agree to that.
So Floridians had to just make do in all of these cases. Some of them weren't able to even get into the arena like those ladies, so they had to huddle around a TV in their hotel lobby bar just to make it happen. They did not have to brave that cold, and many of them were happy to see the president take the oath of office as well. I'm in D.C., Matt Austin, getting results, News 6.
Very cool follow-up there from Matt with that same group of ladies from here locally. Glad they were able to make it inside the arena. Hopefully safe travels for everyone, too, trying to get back home in all this weather, of course. But we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a live interview. We'll be talking to the co-founder of McCall's Hope. They have a fundraiser gala coming up this weekend. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are excited to have some live guests with us this morning. And today we are highlighting McCall's Hope. And we have Charlize Simmons, the co-founder of McCall's Hope, with us, along with Kia Blair, who's a board member, but also from our legacy. And it's good to see you ladies again. I'm excited about your event on Saturday at Faith Hall at First Baptist Church in Orlando. And I really want you to tell folks more about the history behind McCall's Hope.
Good morning, and thank you for having us this morning. My name is Charlotte Simmons. I am the founder of McCall's Hope. McCall's Hope started because it was something that is personal to me. I am a kidney disease patient, and I've done two times of dialysis. I've received 2 kidney transplants. And so I decided this time that I was going to do something different, and I was going to give back and help other patients who are dealing with the same things that I've dealt with. Since I've been there, I know where they are. So we provide assistance for kidney disease patients in the form of rent, mortgage, groceries, gas, transportation, medical expenses, things like that. And so that is how McCall's Hope all started.
And Kia, you told me about McCall's Hope, and so it's near and dear to your heart. You joined the board, and you're involved with so many different organ donation initiatives and support groups. Why was this one so important to you?
Oh, wow. Bridget, first of all, thank you for having us on to share the beauty and the support that McCall's Hope provides Central Florida um, patients who are on dialysis or who may have just received a kidney. The reason why I'm so passionate about it is because Charlotte is one of our legacies, longtime volunteers since she received her first kidney 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. And when I look at the work that she has done and continues to do, while also being back on dialysis before she received her second kidney, while recovering from that kidney transplant and all the things that she has struggled with, going back and forth to her transplant institute for care even after her transplant. And then I see the miracles that she's providing for families, like one of her patients, George Sloan, who we had hoped to bring to you this morning, but he's stuck in that traffic
Oh
this
no.
morning. And so we've been, calling him, and he's like, I'm coming, I'm coming. But Charles and McCall's Hope was able to save he and his mom's home. They were about to lose their home because, financial problems. They are both on dialysis currently.
Mm.
And so McCall's Hope stepped in to make sure they had a roof over their heads. And it's just amazing work. And if I can help in any way, absolutely sign me up, because it's such a blessing to be able to help, people in the community.
Can you talk about just how common this is? So many people struggling with kidney disease, on dialysis, waiting for a match. This is something many people are going through.
Absolutely. So there are 104,000 people on the national waiting list for an organ, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys. But 5,700 Floridians are on that list waiting for a life-saving organ. And the majority of them are needing a kidney. And the majority of those folks are from multicultural communities. So it's imperative that we talk about your kidney health, that the things that affects your kidneys, like diabetes, hypertension, not exercising, not eating right. All of these things affect your kidneys. And when it comes to being Black, African American, or even Hispanic, 1 in 3 will suffer from chronic kidney disease, just like Charlotte's. So it's important that we get the education out there about, the facts and the truth surrounding deceased donation as well as living donation, and try to help as many people as possible. So many people are suffering, and they may not need to. So that's why McCall's Hope is here to provide those resources, and like Charlotte mentioned, not only gas and other financial resources, but even over the holidays we were able to cook meals for 150 patients and their families for Thanksgiving, just to provide a hot meal. at Christmas time. And then we delivered them to dialysis centers
Yes.
all over
So
Central Florida.
I want to quickly, before we run out of time, talk about how to support it because, of course, this is a journey for many people. And like you said, so many expenses come up. So you have a fundraiser gala this weekend. Give us more details on how we can show support in helping you all do what you do to help others.
So the number one way you can help to show support is always by our website, mccallshope.org. There you can make donations. The fundraising gala this weekend, we do it every year, every January. And you can, oh, thank you, there it is. You can come out and support that way. Tickets are still available, but the best way is to visit our website and click donate.
Awesome. Well, we are so happy to help share this information, and we appreciate all you're doing to help those in need right now, especially with difficult health struggles. So good to have you ladies with us this morning, and I will see you on Saturday.
Yes.
And thank you, Bridgett, for supporting the cause. We really appreciate you.
Of course. It's wonderful. Thanks, Charlotte. Thanks, Kia. Take care.
You.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we are running out of time, so that's going to do it for us for breakfast. But we will see you, of course. Trooper Steve's on patrol at 10. We'll see you at noon with more updates. Have a good morning. Be safe.